Hello, welcome back to ministry, and today I am doing the lyric review I told you I was going to do. The Lord showed me Mary J. Blige. I was listening to the radio, as the Lord has allowed me in the past couple of days to sit and listen to the radio. I love a Magic 95.9, and he's been kind of leading me through these songs, and he gave me Be With You. And I felt that it was poetic to add as the video to follow up that long amount of content I gave y'all in the past couple of days. Mary J. Blige's I Want to Be With You. It starts off, I want to be with you. Gotta be with you. I need to be with you. Oh, I want to be with you. Gotta be with you. Need to be with you. Chemistry was crazy from the get-go. For you and your God ordained spouse, the reason y'all have been held up is because the Lord already knew. Oh, y'all chemistry gonna be lit. So because your chemistry is gonna be lit, I got to hold y'all away from each other. Keys to the Kingdom did a video a long time ago. One was called The White Mouse or something like that. And in it, she talked about the reason that the Lord is keeping you away from your spouse is because if he lets y'all get together too soon, you got to get married when you meet. Because if you don't get married when you meet, there's a potential of the fact that you very well might slip up. I already said in the video that was released on God's Opened Your Womb. And the type of relationship that you and your God ordained spouse are going to have is the love making is going to be on 120. Because it's the person you're supposed to be with. Y'all got it together. It's going to be lit. It really is. Neither one of you knew why. God put you in his heart. God put him in yours. And y'all couldn't understand why it was so much chemistry between the two of y'all. How is it that two people that don't even really know each other that well, it's like we've been friends forever? We built nothing overnight. God built your love from the ground up, and it took time. Because a love like this takes some time. God had to cultivate you both to be able to withstand the test of time in this relationship. Said we can't be that, or we can't see that. Some of y'all couldn't see yourself with the person that God has sent is going to be sending into your life as your God ordained spouse. You couldn't see it. It was beyond your ability to comprehend being with this particular person. Now, from top to bottom, they say that we did that. When God releases you to your spouse and people actually begin to see you, it's going to be a testimony to the fact that when they see you, they're not going to be able to deny, yeah, but they look like they're two peas in a pod. They look like that's the one for them. They finally, they got it right. It's so true that we've been through it. Yes. You and your spouse have gone through levels of warfare, levels of confusion, levels of certain things happening in your lives that you earn the ability to be able to be together to the degree in which God is bringing into your life. You got real cultivation, she says, it but you know what that is. We got real stuff. See, baby, you and your spouse been through the fire. Y'all were cultivated in fire separately in order for you to be able to come together, because y'all been too strong alone and separately for too long. And you can't be without them, and they can't be without you. You will be waiting up for them. Some of us are right now waiting up for them. We're waiting on them to get home, to come home to God, to come home to us. Because I can't be without you. They are calling to you. They can't be without you. It's becoming more unbearable for them. Stephanie P released a word a long time ago, said it's unbearable. Some of them can't even think about you because it's unbearable to be without you. Call the radio if you just can't be without your baby. Some of y'all sitting there listening to the radio thinking about your man, and vice versa, they thinking about you. Willing to bet there are times that I visually had visions that my God-a-day spouse be driving in his car just listening to the radio, and some songs just take him places. I got a question for you. I see you already know the answer. God has cultivated you to be the answer for your God-ordained spouse. And there are questions that you have because you've been waiting for them to come to you in order for these answers to be manifest. And it's funny, the second that I said that, I saw a vision of the image of Remnant Rising video. God has an answer to all your questions. She just did a live within the past week entitled that. I haven't had a chance to watch it, but I'm gonna watch it tomorrow. Would you lie? No. Would you make me cry? God is not sending a man into your life that's gonna lie to you and make you cry like the last one did. Nope. And it's funny, I want to pause here and say this. I was on my phone, this one that I'm recording on, and I don't look at Google News on my phone because I don't like looking at the news anyway, because half of it is just horrible. But I accidentally swiped and saw the news feed. You know, all up and down my feed is birth, zodiac, all kinds of foolishness. Talking about exes wanting their partners back and all kinds of confusion. This is how I know the devil playing games right now. Pray for your spouse, because their exes are targeting them right now. Cover them in prayer. Where was I? Anybody who's ever loved you knows just what I'm feeling. If you've ever been in love, you know what it is to stand and wait and seek God for this spouse. Some of y'all have been in that season where you're the bride with your lampstands lit, waiting on the bridegroom to show up. That's what this song gives me. The waiting for them to come home at night. You're waiting for that moment for them to come in. It's too hard to fake it. You can no longer fake like this person ain't your spouse no more. God done give you so many daggone confirmations You sleep with confirmations because the Lord's giving it to you that frequently. You can't even ignore it no more. Nothing can replace it. There's a great debate about replacements. Does God send replacements? I don't think he does. And I'm in agreement with the ones that say, no, I don't think God be sending replacements. I think a lot of people fell in love with the wrong one and thought to themselves that that was the wrong one. And in their soul, they knew it was the wrong one, but they was just too bold-facedly prideful to admit that they picked the wrong person. Because they ain't never asked God in the first place whether that was the right one or not. Because they wanted to make what they had made an Ishmael of. And some of them, no shade, they were in the relationship, came to God, and God said, no, that's not the one. And they still trying to make that person they spouse. And God said, I have chosen another, I have risen up another. That's the one. Call the radio if you can't be without your babe. Now, I missed this verse. Would you try to do something behind my back and try to cover it up? These men, some of us have had nightmares. This has been our doubt phase. That we sit up there like, how we know that they not going to do the same thing? And this is the thing that God's been cultivating out of them while they were away from you. Because some of this stuff they were doing to the one that wasn't the one. And God's like, I need you to get rid of all of these habits. I know you're doing it because it's not the right one. But I need you to make sure that you got it out your system before I send you the right one. Because I don't need you. Remember the movie The Perfect Match. Had to completely get it out of that man's system before they introduced him to his God-ordained spouse. Because the woman was there in the beginning of the film. He just didn't see her because he was too busy being distracted by the pretty chick that had no brains. But the woman that was supposed to be there is literally sitting next to his best friend at the dinner at the beginning of the film. And at the end of the film, she shows up at the end and he's like, hey, do we know each other? And she said, yeah, I'm your friend's friend that she tried to set us up together a while ago. God couldn't introduce you into their life until he got all of that stuff out of them. All the lying, all the stuff that would make you cry, all of that stuff. He'd get all that out their system. And because you're not going to do that to them. And because you're not going to do that to them, he needed to get them right so that they're not allowing what the other person did to them to cause them to rebel and hurt you. I remember hearing the prophetess I listened to, she said there was a family member of hers that they were in a great relationship. Everything was going right. The guy was perfect. Everything was wonderful. The guy, mid-thing, getting closer to the wedding, he turns around, cheat. Don't know what made the dude do it. He ended up having to come back to the prophetess and have her pray for him and give him spiritual guidance in order for him to fix what he screwed up in order for them to get back together. And she knew that those two were supposed to be together, but the enemy was playing games with them, messing with his head, trying to bring doubt and confusion and fear, because you're not going to do that to them. You would never, it's never even been on your thought process to mess with them like that. My love is only for you, love. You are in love with this person. There is no changing that for you. You know what your heart's desire is, and it's this person. All you need is them, And you're not going to do them like they've been done nor how you've been done in the past. It's not even in a bone of that is not even in your body. Because you have God in you so much that the thought of doing that to them would convict you so that if you ever, God forbid, did something like that, you would be a nervous wreck. You couldn't even hide it from them. I'll be faithful. I'm for real. You're faithful. You've always been faithful in all your relationships. It's the other person that always did you wrong. And people turn around and try to accuse you of stuff that you ain't never do because they had naughtiness in their heart. They come out of nowhere with stuff in order to try to sabotage you and accuse you because their heart is poor. And with us, you'll always know the deal. We've been too strong for too long. So, see, this is real talk. I'll always stay. You're a stander. You're a stayer. The fact that you stayed during all this time that you've been standing and waiting for them to get to you. Through the good and the bad. God done shown you some things about these men that you're going to marry, especially those of you that the Lord done already showed you who your spouse is. Showed you some things as you were praying for them that may have been some treacherous waters for you to walk into. And God's been showing you so that you won't be so surprised when they come to you and the things that they're going to reveal when they finally open up to you. Right or wrong, all day, every day. You don't care how bad it is. You gonna stand for these people. Now, if you're down with love or don't believe, this ain't for you. Some of y'all have gone through seasons of disgruntledness where you didn't believe in love. And God had to kind of nudge you and show you and repetitively confirm to you. That's your man, that's your man, that's your man, that's your man, that's your man. And for some of them, it's the same thing. They've been laid up with other women and God's been showing you to them. And they had to finally admit that the Lord was finally telling them, yeah, that's the chick you're supposed to marry. Are you going to let go of this so I can give you that? And if you got it deep in your heart, deep down, you know it's true. They know and you know that you're called to be with one another because there's a level of confirmation that God done gave you. I mean, he literally shook my chest in a level of intense. I can't even explain what he did to me in relation to this person. Almost to a level it's like in my head, that ain't even a heart attack feeling. What the heck was that? It was like your entire internal being shook. Like you were having an internal earthquake is all I can explain in relation to that person. And you're like, what the hell is this? Because it's them and it's you. Well, let me see you put your hands up. Fellas, tell your lady she's the one. God's been trying to get these men to open up and finally say to you, you're the one for them. Fellas, tell your lady she's the one and put your hands up. Ladies, tell him, no, he's got your love. Let these men know when they do finally come forward to admit that they recognize that you're the one for them, you have to let them know and confirm to them what's necessary to let them know that they made the right choice with you as well. Look him right into his eyes and tell him, we've been too strong for too long. You both had to stand in your tests, in your trials, baby. They can't be without you. And I'll be waiting up. We've been waiting for the groomsmen to come to us with our lampstands lit. Anybody who's ever loved, you know just what it feels like. We've never felt what we felt for these relationships in any other relationship, but we know what love feels like. Too hard to take it, and nothing can replace it. This journey has been too hard to say anything else but it be God. And it can't be replaced. Ain't nobody gonna go through this like we did this. People have done it for the wrong person for years. But when God says the right person, it's all gonna make up for that. Call the radio. Because I can't be without you. And then it's the last stanzas of, I want to be with you, gotta be with you, need to be with you. They need you. You need them. Your God-ordained spouse is en route to you. He's finally coming. And he's going to make it official. Be prepared. It's going to be an out of the blue blessing. So this is Tajma Cameron for the ministry. Till next time.